Welcome again to the big match, and for an hour or so just forget your troubles, because we really do have some sparkling football for you today with our main match, that important game in the second division between Fulham and Sunderland, a game with more goalmouth excitement than I've seen for many a long day. And after that, the remarkable match between Manchester City and Chelsea that's sure to get you talking. And between the two, more goals as we bring you another first division game, Ipswich against Wolves. As usual, we should be looking at your letters, but our action is so good today, let's make a start right away at Craven Cottage for the game between Fulham and Sunderland, both promotion contenders. And in the Fulham side, our first chance to take a look at Peter Marinello, signed just before Christmas from Motherwell. And here is Peter Marinello. It's the second time he's come to play for a London club, and when he arrived at Arsenal 9 years ago, it was in a blaze of publicity, which in the end bowled him over, and he rarely showed his true form. Now this talented wingman is in a good frame of mind here at Fulham. And in John Beck, Fulham have found a man to boss the midfield for them since his arrival from Coventry City, and he's recently attracted the attention of Ipswich Town. This then is the Fulham side that's won its last 3 games, including a 2-0 cup win over Queen's Park Rangers, except that they had a blow at 2 o'clock today when defender Kevin Locke failed a test on a calf muscle injury and he misses the game. Jeff Banton then comes into the defence. It's his first league game since September. Top scorer for Fulham is Chris Guthrie with 10 goals. This Sunderland team, well, they're in good form. They've pushed their way up into promotion contention, having lost only 1 of their last 8 games, and they've beaten Everton in the FA Cup. This is the side that drew 1-1 at Blackburn in midweek. Gary Rowell is their hottest property right now with 15 goals. The referee today, it's Brian Daniels of Brentwood, called in at 10 o'clock this morning, in fact, after one referee had to drop out and a replacement found himself snowbound. For the crowd, not a bad afternoon really after yesterday's snow, and indeed the prospect of a good game for them into the bargain. And one of the virtues of the poorer crowds here at Fulham is at least the families can come in complete safety. And it's Sunderland then in a change strip of blue with white shorts who get us away, attacking the goal to our left. Fulham in their customary white. Bob Lee on the ball for Sunderland. Gary Rowell. That's a nice little pass to Wilf Rostron, and a bad cross by him, and Sean Elliott was right up in there. That could have been a nasty opening burst so far as Fulham are concerned, with Rostron really hitting in a good cross there. Former Arsenal man, indeed he was at Arsenal with the Fulham manager Bobby Campbell. This is Mark Jerrison for Fulham. Elliott. Foul by Richard Money on Gary Rowell. Brian Daniels from Brentwood. Thought he was going to have a day off today, hadn't got a game until the call came at 10 o'clock this morning. Clark for Sunderland. Played in swiftly there to Rostron. Strong got up well there, but still Sunderland making their presence felt. And Bob Lee going through, and a great save, and a shot by Entwistle that was finally pushed away. But how that opened up there for Bob Lee. It looked odds on a goal. A great piece of goalkeeping by Payton, and Entwistle couldn't finish it off. Jeff Clark up. Corner flung in again. It was Payton, I think, got the header there. Well, Lee looking for another shot, and another good save by Payton. Oh, Bob Lee in lively enough form. 2 shots on goal and 2 saves by Jerry Payton. That one taken with the left foot, an economy of effort, but a powerful shot well saved. A bit of a warning there for Fulham in these opening minutes. Saved on a couple of occasions by their big Irish goalkeeper. Jerry Payton. Strong. And now it's the free kick for Fulham. Kevin Arnold, the foul on Red Strong. Bad sign for Fulham. So a bit of treatment for Ron Woolnough. Fulham's manager Bobby Campbell hoping that that's not a problem for him. Down the touchline there is John Evanson going through the precaution of warming up. And he's going to soldier on. But it's a free kick for Fulham, which Tony Gale will take. So Gale with the kick. High towards Guthrie, that's the man he's aiming for. And in fact kept in there by Davis. Margerison. Buckley is after him, the number 7. And Margerison did so well there. Davis trying to hold off Clark. Clark did well. It's still with Fulham. It's with Marinello now. But he's lost that. Oh no, he may have got it back again until there's a foul on the number 2, Nick Henderson, by Peter Marinello. And whether that suggests that it's just a matter of time before Les Strong comes off, with Evanson continuing to warm up. It's hard to say. Maybe they're just doing it as a precaution in case he wants to come off. Money. Davis. That's a good piece of play. That's a nice pass as well for Guthrie. Spreading it this way now to Beck. Marinello begging for the ball on this side and now coming to collect it and hustled out of it unfairly by Joe Bolton, giving Fulham a free kick. Beck with the free kick for Fulham. Curling that free kick in. Oh, and a good save by Siddle from Guthrie's towering header. Guthrie is going to be a threat the whole afternoon to Sunderland, there's no doubt about that. Beck's curling free kick. A beautiful header by Guthrie and a fine save by Siddle. Here's Beck again. There's the cross in once more. And again, Jeff Clark got there that time. And Sunderland get it away as Rowell feeds Lee. And Fulham get it back, and only just. Money to Guthrie, chested on there for Marinello. It wasn't far from being an obstruction on Marinello as he weaved his way into that Sunderland area. It's with Money. And again, from Dale's pass, planted forward for Beck to chase. Bolton intercepting, and that's probably indicative of the pressure that Sunderland suddenly find themselves under. Pumping it into the stand to give them a moment of breathing space. For Beck to take another throw. Siddle to watch warily from that goal. High up and under from Marinello. Margerison getting in there. And played back, or at least he tried to play it back. A chance for Margerison. Knocked down against the post. And Davis trying still to make something of it. Such excitement there. It looked as though Margerison must score. In fact, he picked his spot, and it was a good piece of reaction keeping by Siddle. Knocked it down, and the ball bounced against the post. And away. And that after a bad back pass that put Fulham into a scoring position. And they're going to take Les Strong off. John Evanson, an all-action player, but not a back four man by any means. But that looks as though that's where he's off to. And And less strong left to ponder, I suppose, as to whether now he's going to be fit for next Saturday's match against Manchester United. Lee, and that's Beck's ball. Now Marinello, but Bolton is right at him. And away goes Marinello again. A deep cross there towards Guthrie, and a header that in fact I think came, yes, off Sean Elliott for a Fulham corner. Take it. Guthrie and Gale, I think, are the men to watch out for if that ball is hoisted high into that Sunderland penalty area, which it is. Gale, in fact, getting a shot in. Sunderland getting it away. Beck lifting it back again cleverly. And Davis having a shot saved again by Barry Siddle. And it really looked as though Fulham must score there. Davis right through and Siddle doing well. And now Bolton at the other end. Body, and Joe Bolton gets his first goal of the season. And the Sunderland fans who travel a long way have something to celebrate. Amazing when you consider that at one end, Gordon Davis really should have put Fulham ahead. The shot was saved by Siddle, and within 25 seconds of that, the ball's in the other goal. A long run by Joe Bolton under Payton's body. And that's Fulham 0, Sunderland 1. Davis again. They've probably supported Fulham through thick and thin for so many years. Nice ball played there for Davis, and there's a chance. No, there's not. He gets into such good scoring positions, and at the moment he just can't tuck it away. It was Bullivant, the number 4, who played that ball through to him most beautifully, and Gordon Davis seemed to be on a winner again, but that time it squeezed wide of the far post. Jerison and Evanson, a misunderstanding, and whistle brought down as Evanson tried to retrieve that situation, giving Sunderland a free kick from what could be a dangerous position with Sean Elliott coming up. Bogley in there, and Gary Rowell. That's Elliott, number 6. Rowell towards the near post. It could have been dangerous. He was well followed by Tony Gale and John Beck, and it's a corner for Sunderland. Near post, Entwistle, number 9, right in there on the edge of the box, now making a run towards the near post, taking 1 or 2 with him. Oh, Payton only half getting that away, and knocked off the line. Well, that was touch and go. John Beck doing well there. It looked as though Rowell was going to add to his 15 goals this season after Payton had only half palmed that one away. And it was John Beck on the line who got it away for Fulham. So another corner for Sunderland. Again, Rowell ran in there. That looked like handball. They didn't fool the linesman. It was Entwistle, I think, who handled it. You must be beginning to wonder what on earth Fulham have got to do to score now, the chances they've had. Half-time, only 1 goal, but an enormous amount of goal-mouth activity. Some fine keeping by Jerry Payton in the Fulham goal, and some really brilliant stuff too by Barry Siddle, keeping it down to that solitary goal scored by Joe Bolton on the breakaway for Sunderland, when maybe 25 seconds before it looked an odds-on chance that Gordon Davis would have put Fulham into the lead. So a lot of goal-mouth activity, as I say, and a lot of entertaining football as well, and a half-time score here at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham 0, Sunderland 1. We'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to Craven Cottage. Fulham it is who kick off the second half now. Just that solitary goal for Sunderland in the first half, but I fancy both sides feeling that they made enough chances, each to be feeling that they must be in with a good chance of winning this game in the second half. Very important game for both sides, both well in the running for a promotion place. A win here would be so important. Elliott. Jerrison's header. Guthrie again. Bullivant. Jerrison. Touch there by Guthrie. Not quite controlled enough. Falling for Lee. Here's Bolton, the goal scorer. Arnott. Lee. And now Buckley, will he try a shot? No. Spreading it wide to Entwistle. Now in for Buckley, now he'll try a shot. And it really should have been better than that. There was a lot of space in there for Buckley coming in. And his shot really only had to be on target, really, to test Payton. Jeff Clark, he's got a big job this afternoon in this second half against the heading ability of Chris Guthrie. There we go, there are two of them in fact, and indeed it was Clark who won that one. Davis finding Guthrie again, but the whistle had gone. The advantage wasn't played when Fulham wanted it. So it'll be a free kick for Fulham, but of course what has happened now is that Sunderland have got everybody back behind the ball. So Fulham really have to fight for any advantage now. Jerrison with the cross, a good one, and it needed a good save. Almost taking Sybil by surprise there. Nice little bit of pace there by Jerrison, and a shot that would have just nicked inside. Beck with the corner. And in fact Marinello's header could have caused a few problems. Gale. Nice skills, finding money, good cross wanted, and it's got one, and it's there! Gordon Davis, who'd missed one or two chances in the first half, has put Fulham level. Good move that by Fulham. And the cross, when it came swinging in from the right, had Sunderland in trouble. And Davis, who's a very neat player indeed, at last tucked it home to make it Fulham 1, Sunderland 1. Gordon Davis, the scorer, who seems to have that knack of getting into scoring positions, and at last he's made it pay. Payton getting there a fraction before Entwistle. Jerrison played on again for Davis, and Henderson right sticking with him. Not a big crowd at Craven Cottage, but making a lot of noise at the moment is Fulham have drawn level. Marinello. Wow, how on earth did he escape there? But he did, and he's going on, and the linesman's flagging, and sadly for Fulham, the referee's whistle went as well. When Marinello was through, and the crowd, who really want to see referees and linesmen trying to get the advantage going, particularly the referees, it's their job of course, weren't all happy with that. But Fulham have got a free kick. Jerrison floating it in. Siddle's got to come a long way, and indeed he did, and Sunderland scrambled that one away. Good atmosphere now, with a lot of noise to it. Davis,
Getting that taken off his foot by Arnott. Back it goes to Barry's fiddle. Well, this is a game with sides making so many opportunities. It really is there for the winning now. At 1-1. Clark being chased by Guthrie and almost robbed by Bullivant, but Clark getting it back again, spreading it onto the far side. Lee coming in, a powerful shot, but far too high. That's the first time really, I think, in this game that Tony Gale's been wrong-footed, and the pass from Clark got him on the wrong foot there, and Lee might have made a little better effort with that one. Beck with the throw. Davis. Oh, Davis sent tumbling there. It was off the ball, and the referee played the advantage well there. Guthrie going in. Well done, the referee, but and very nearly well done, Chris Guthrie. When Davis was floored there off the ball, the linesman flagged as though his life depended on it. But the referee saw Fulham in possession. The long slanting cross came in, and Guthrie just failed to get high enough to knock it home. Good play there as Buckley takes it up, and Rao looks for the return pass, gets into the box, and a penalty given. Well, the Fulham man, Tony Gale, coming in there, pulling down Gary Rowell after that nice little interchange, and the referee pointing to the spot. Of course, what is the problem for Gary Rowell now is that he's got to wait while we see whether Tony Gale can go on after this injury. All helping to build on the pressure facing Gary Rowell. Now, I wonder if he's decided just where he's going to place it. With a chance to put Sunderland back to 2-1. Well, Gale's got to hobble off to the edge of the penalty area, and now the confrontation begins. Gary Rowell against Jerry Payton. The referee adding to it now by saying that Payton don't move before the kick is taken. The referee coming to the edge of the penalty area to watch for encroachment as Rowell puts it into the back of the net and puts Sunderland 2-1 into the lead. Perfectly taken penalty, really giving Payton no chance. And a big smile from Gary Rowell. Fulham 1, Sunderland 2. Margerison, or rather Evanson, now Margerison. Let's listen to the end of the crowd there. They now are beginning to accept football crowds everywhere, but they want to see referees playing the advantage wherever possible. And really, to be fair to the crowd, that was a clear case where it might have been played. There's the Fulham free kick. Settle with a good save catch. And in fact, Tony Gale has gone off. Fulham are down to 10 men. In fact, the defenders that are out of action at the moment, there's Ray Evans with his back to us at the moment. Kevin Locke now, Tony Gale, and Les Strong. It's been a bad day injury-wise for Fulham. Here's Beck. Well, he's onside. A chance for Rowell to make a break and to make it almost safe for Sunderland, and Payton doing well. Oh! And Entwistle way over the top, but the linesman was flanking in any case on the far side. Rowell just onside, just inside that Fulham half. A great break by him. He was being pursued by Fulham defenders. Some good spreading by Jerry Payton. And then Wayne Entwistle putting the ball over the top with the flag already being hoisted for offside. Well, they're going to get Tony Gale on now. So Fulham are back numerically in full strength, but I think Gale is still struggling so much it's maybe about 10 and a half men on the field. Nice touch there for Buckley, turned on by Arnold. What lovely play by Sunderland, a beautiful move now as Rostron takes it up. Money trying to get back, played in there, and that just wanted to be a finishing touch to make that almost a perfect goal. A really beautiful move by Sunderland. Guthrie crossed in. Oh, Davis, the chance is gone. Well, he really could have made a name for himself, and that extraordinary pattern continues where he keeps getting into such good positions. I know he scored the Fulham goal, but that one's frittered away again, and it was Sean Elliott's mistake that let Guthrie in on the far side. The perfect play, though, by Guthrie. Unfortunately for Fulham, Gordon Davis couldn't hit it correctly. Jerrison. Evanson letting it run, and his luck went with him there, taking it past Rowell. There's a lot of space for Banton on the far side. Beck wanting to assert himself, taking possession here now for Fulham. Banton's gone down that touchline. Now he wants a good cross. Too close to the keeper, I think. No, it's not. It's a goal! Guthrie's heading has paid off at last, and Fulham are back at 2-2. Well, it was from the moment John Beck took charge of affairs in that Sunderland half, sent Banton away down the right. I thought the cross was going to be a little too close to Siddle, but it wasn't. It was a beauty. And Guthrie rose superbly to head it wide of the keeper. 2-2, Chris Guthrie the scorer. Bobby Campbell has seen his side show an awful lot of character because things have gone badly against him in terms of injuries, and he himself must be worried with the likes of Les Strong being injured, Tony Gale being injured, and Kevin Locke being injured, with Manchester United coming up next week in the Cup. But certainly Fulham have fought magnificently. Twice behind and now twice level. Marinello, here's Davis. Gale is hobbling up ahead of him. Davis has got to go on his own, and he's going all the way. Not quite the finishing touch. It almost came through to Guthrie again, but that was a sparkling run by Gordon Davis without quite the finishing punch that was required. Good, well-controlled dribbling at pace. Elliott running it forward again. Payton quickly off his line. Gale can't get to that one. He hobbled and tried to get there, but Henderson got it away. Beck's header in, going straight to Sunderland. Here's Money. Marinello very deep. Oh, just lifting that forward. That was a clever piece of play because Beck's in the clear. There's the cross coming in towards Davis, and Siddle had to punch that one away. What a good game of football this has turned out to be. All the goal-mouth action in the first half, repeated here in the second half, with a lot of good football being played by both sides as well. Evanson, oh, that's the back pass, and it might have got in trouble, but in fact Payton and the ball as Lee crashed into him, but that could have been a bit dangerous and difficult. John Evanson's back pass going that little bit wide. as the final whistle goes at the end of a really fine game, with Chris Guthrie's late-headed equaliser making it 2-2. And I really think that's just about the right result. Gordon Davis having scored the other Fulham goal. They were twice behind to those goals in the first half by Joe Bolton, and then by the penalty from Gary Rowell. A really fine game. Both sides committed to a lot of attacking football, some marvellous goal-mouth incidents, some great goalkeeping, and a final score which just about wraps it up to everybody's satisfaction, I imagine. Fulham 2, Sunderland 2.
And still to come on the programme today, the goals from that headline-making match between Manchester City and Chelsea. Well, there were empty places on the Fulham terraces yesterday, and those who didn't come certainly missed an afternoon of high excitement. It really was an exhilarating game. But it left problems for Fulham with their FA Cup tie against Manchester United just next Saturday. Tony Gale must present the biggest doubt for them. He hobbled on with a suspected knee ligament injury. And the Fulham manager, Bobby Campbell, said that Les Strong has a twisted ankle, and that must raise some doubts as well. Kevin Locke, who didn't play because of a calf injury, should, however, be fit. And Ray Evans, another defender, can return to the side after suspension. Bobby Campbell was delighted with the way his side fought against those injuries and came away with a point. But he was doubly pleased with the form of striker Chris Guthrie, who scored that vital equaliser.
I might be biased, but I think Chris Guthrie is the best in the air in the country at this moment in time. He's almost as good as the stories that get told about Ted Drake.
Are you pulling my leg about the Ted Drake line or not? I mean,
no,
obviously, Chris obviously had a great game.
Oh, Chris, I mean, there's one header there especially, and it's a long, long time since I've seen a header like it. And I suppose, I mean, when did you last see one like it? You see it, it's across from Becky, and he meets it about 16, 18 yards out, and the goalie makes a magnificent save. Everything about it was perfect. And he scored a great goal with a header.
Yes. Bobby Campbell was full of praise for you a moment ago, Chris. What's your reaction to that?
Well, obviously I'm pleased on today's performance. I thought I died a little in the second half. Was very pleased with the goal and a bit disappointed with the save the goalie made in the first half.
Yes.
I thought that was a goal all the way, but he made a tremendous save.
Because you came a long way to get to that one, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I came about 15 yards and met John Beck's free kick and was going all the way for the top corner. Like I say, he made a tremendous save.
Yes. And then you got the equaliser right at the end there, which is again a good header, nicely placed wide of Barry Siddle.
Yeah. I think it was
Jeff Banton.
Jeff Banton crossed it, and Barry Siddle come to the near post, and I tried to tuck it in the far corner, and it went in.
Yeah. In fact, so many high balls get played up to you in the course of 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You must come away from these games with a blooming headache, I should think.
Not really. I've got a hard head, as a few would tell you.
A hard head, of course, but a dangerous one as well, no doubt about that. A Sunderland boy whose header stole a point from his hometown team. A thoroughly enjoyable afternoon, in fact, right the way through at Craven Cottage. But now we move up to the First Division for Ipswich against Wolves, where most interest was on Wolves and their struggle to get away from the bottom of the table. The pictures come from Anglia Television. The commentator's Jerry Harrison. Ipswich are in the dark shirts.
Here's Woods coming over again for Muren. Now Tibbett. The opportunity had gone. Still Wymark and Mariner in the middle, but here's Woods coming over to help Tibbett. Bradshaw staying on his line. Again McCall away. Mills. Nice one to Tibbett. Muren is free behind him with a good bit of room. Mariner the far man. Mariner coming in on this. And down for Watt. Beautifully struck. And he had no real chance. He did well to get his hands to it. John Walk. Well, the man who's playing in the centre of midfield, the position he enjoys, and he's showing just why. Well, the cross from Muren was a good one. Mariner was in contention with 2 or 3 defenders. Out it comes to number 7, Walk, and he hits it really superbly. And although the goalkeeper gets a hand to it, it's in. And Ipswich lead by 1-0 after 25 minutes, and for Walk his 6th goal of the season. Daly loses it to Woods up against Parkin. Woods still holding well. Mills looking for a short one to Mariner. It's a good position. and it's knocked off his toe for a corner. But Ipswich players holding possession there, and certain lack of confidence and a little bit of lack of application by the Wolves players. But a corner here and danger, with Osman at the back, Beattie at the front. Wymark up here, good one. And in it goes. Mariner. And Wymark must get a great deal of that one. But his name won't go down in the book, I'm afraid. It's Mariner. Well, it's good to see Trevor Wymark doing so well in the penalty area again. Leaping like a salmon to this deep cross, nobody challenging him. It was a powerful one that would have gone in anyhow, I think, but Mariner makes sure. 2-0. Daly. Tippett is back in the fray, covering at the back. Willie Carr, the hurdler. Now Daniel. He's a fullback, really, but having to play in midfield in the sort of situation Wolves find themselves in, and it's a good flick. And Bell denied there by Beattie's challenge as Eves flicked it onto him. And that's a corner. So that was a dangerous moment created there by Wolves, with Daniel going down that flank, crossing, flicked back by Mel Eves, and Bell was almost in there. And Beattie rescued him. So Berry up again for the corner. So is McCall just in front of him. Up goes Cooper, and Berry's there. That's it. Berry gets the congratulations, quite rightly so. He went for it, he didn't get it, and it came then to Berry, whose header hit the barn winning. Beattie forward, that was Muren, but not a good one. Tibbett. Mills out on the touchline, this is Arnold Muren. A return from Mariner, nice play. Change to Woods, Parkin Dent get in. Woods has beaten him. Oh, he brought him down, it's a penalty. Well, Woods is hurt, but I'm sure he'll recover from that pretty quickly. Well, you've got to feel a little bit of sympathy for Parkin. It was turned inside out, really. He didn't know whether it was the traditional Shrove Tuesday or Sheffield Wednesday, and he went for the ball, he got his legs instead, and inevitably it's a penalty. Now it's 3-1. He didn't have a chance with that one at all, he went the wrong way, but you can only guess these things, and he guessed wrong. Mariner coming in first, Mills is at the back there, up goes Beattie and Osman, and Mills off the post, no, over. Was that off the defender? But no doubt about it, Wolves were in awful trouble there. The corner coming over, there's two big defenders at the back of the box competing for it, and it's Osman who gets it to Mills, a flick, it seems to be on the way in, and then as it comes out again, it's woofed over the top.
So 3-1 then to Ipswich. And now on the programme, it's time for your letters. And last week we showed you a couple of hilarious goalkeeping clangers. Well, I have to confess that I dropped a pretty heavy clanger of my own when at the start of the programme we showed you a picture purporting to be the old Arsenal star Bryn Jones, when it wasn't. Jack Picton of 4 Bazalgette Gardens, New Malden in Surrey, who tells me he's been an Arsenal fan for over 40 years, wrote saying that this is the picture we should have shown you, and of course he's right. Arsenal fans, incidentally, might like to know that today Bryn, and here he is a retired newsagent living in Palmer's Green, North London, and still with a keen interest in his old club. Ted Drake is another former Arsenal star we showed you last week, this shot of the youthful Ted, and today Ted is still very much involved in the game as chief scout and chief representative with Fulham. All right, here's Ted now. While at Arsenal, he once scored 7 goals in a game against Aston Villa, but he tells me that's not his greatest memory.
No, it isn't, no. I was quite proud of that, and I hold the record today, but no, the greatest game I ever played in was Everton versus Arsenal at Goodison Park in 1933-34, possibly, when they had a great side, Dixie Dean, Charlie G, Ted Sager, Steen, Cook. Great players, and they were challenging us for the championship. When the game had been going on 10 minutes, Frank Moss had got a severe injury to his shoulder, was taken off the field. Eddie Hapgood went in goal. we carried on. We were leading 1-0, and soon after, the Iron Man of football, Wilf Copping, went down. And if you knew Wilf, as I knew him, you knew he was injured once he was down there. He was taken to hospital with a cartilage injury. Frank Moss came back on the field again, and sure enough, he damaged his shoulder again. But what had happened, Tom had gone to the hospital, Tom Whitaker, with Copping. He was in the hands of first aid people that unfortunately locked his shoulder, and he was taken from the field. So we've got 9 players. Half-time we came in. Frank is lying there in beads of perspiration running from his face.
And he came back in the second half, Frank Moss, then, didn't he, and played?
He came back, and we're 1 up, and a burst of cheering went up, and I turned, there's Frank coming out, strapped up. And I said, where are you playing? He said, number 11. I said, good on you. And he played out on the wing. It wanted 8 minutes to go. They had four corners on the trot. The ball came out. I gathered the ball somewhere on the 18-yard box, and away I went down the right wing. I'd left everybody, and I thought, God almighty, if I carry on much further, I should be in the crowd. when a cheery voice said, Ted! And I looked up, and it was Frank Moss cutting in from the wing. And I chipped it over, and he ran, hit it about 4 foot off the ground, and said to Ted Sager, pick that one out. And we won 2-0 against Everton at their greatest, and that must be my greatest memory.
Ted Drake, still one of the true gentlemen of the game. Joyce Martin of 50 The Thicket, Fareham in Hampshire, paid tribute to referee Alan Robinson in an Arsenal game last week for the way he played the advantage when Forest scored their goal. And indeed, it's a campaign we've supported for some time on the Big Match, because the advantage properly played can make such a difference to everybody's enjoyment of the game. Indeed, this week we've had 2 examples of a classic piece of advantage, and both times Nottingham Forest were the benefactors. First here, as Joyce mentioned, when Forest scored at Highbury. Just watch the linesman. The referee's out of shot at the moment. The linesman flagging for something that had gone wrong there, but then as the referee waves play on, the linesman acknowledges it, and here's Gary Birtles on the ball for Forest. And look what happens now as he plays the ball in here too, John Robertson. Forest score their only goal of the game, although of course Arsenal went on to win 2-1. And then again in that marvellous cup tie between Forest and Watford on Wednesday night, again an advantage played this time by referee George Courtney. Watch him on the left of the picture. Play on, he says, play on, when he could have pulled it up, or might have pulled it up, and indeed Forest taking full advantage of that moment, Gary Birtles scoring that fine goal. Congratulations then to both those referees, and let's hope a lot more now take the hint, and that we in turn applaud them when they do play the advantage well. Indeed, there was an incident at Fulham yesterday when the crowd reacted when the referee didn't play the advantage. It's a general point we're making really, because once or twice referee Daniels played it well yesterday. But just listen now to how the crowd reacts when Fulham's John Margerison gets away and the referee pulls him back.
Margerison, or rather Evanson, now Margerison. Just listen to the angle of the crowd there. They now are beginning to accept football crowds everywhere, but they want to see referees playing the advantage wherever possible.
I know it's difficult for referees because that is a very delicate area, but I think we've got to be patient with them. You've seen what the Fulham crowd really wanted. I just hope the referees make a real effort to see that they get what they want. News of a testimonial game before we go on. It's for Dick Shepherd, the former West Bromwich Albion and Bristol Rovers goalkeeper who suffered a serious head injury 6 years ago and had to give up the game. Well, that exciting West Bromwich Albion side go down to Bristol Rovers on Tuesday night to play for Dick. That should be quite a night there with a kick-off at 7:30. Our third game today, Manchester City against Chelsea. City with Malcolm Allison now firmly installed. Chelsea with Danny Blanchflower, and with so many problems as well, just one off the bottom of the First Division. The pictures come from Granada Television. Commentators Gerald Sinstadt. Chelsea are in the lighter shirts.
Stride, a youngster who's made it this season in the Chelsea side. Harris, not a very good clearance. Hartford. Tower, well found by Hartford. Excellent goal in any conditions, but here it was a little miracle. From the throw, the ball worked over to Hartford. Hartford's vision told him that Tower was there, and when he delivered the pass, that half volley was very sweet indeed. Peter Osgood scored the only goal of the game when Chelsea last won here 4 seasons ago. A free kick with Stanley placing the ball, Mackenzie putting his foot on it. After all that, it may well be Walker, number 11. Well, Mackenzie curler. It's gone in off Corrigan's hands. But the linesman has got his flag up on the far side of the field, and the referee is going over to talk to him, and I suspect that that's going to be ruled out. No, it's given. Referee had a word with the linesman and pointed to the middle, so Duncan Mackenzie is credited with his 4th goal for Chelsea. Simple goal, just a couple of walking paces and a shot which Joe Corrigan could only help into the net. Kidd allowed to go on. Chelsea maybe didn't see the highlights of last week's game. Deflected shot from Butcher, and he's got a goal. Well, he'd only been on the field as substitute for 2 minutes, Ron Butcher, the man who got the hat-trick at Stamford Bridge in September, picking up the ball after the run by Kidd had been stopped, and the deflected shot over the head of Bonetti to make it 2-1. The kick floated towards Osgood, and Droy was up there once again, but again unable to make real solid contact. Stanley robbed by Owen, and Owen immediately playing a marvellous pass for Shannon. Shannon robbed by Bonetti and Wilkins between them. That was a great ball from Owen. Shannon chasing hard through the middle, Wilkins going with him and gaining on him, and by the time Shannon wanted to try the shot, Bonetti was out to complete the smother. Mackenzie. Ron Butcher robs him. Donachie to Hartford. The ball in a good position taken up by Shannon. Now Barnes. Owen. And it's cleared off the line by Wicks. You can't help feeling that Barnes should have had a go himself rather than transferring it to Owen, who is left holding his ankle. Barnes coming over to take the corner after the move had switched from right to left across the box. Shannon had taken up a good position. Barnes, I think, should have shot, but it all came to nothing. Now Donachie, constant pressure from City. Barnes, Owen available. Barnes tricking, trying to find room for a cross. Skids over low, and a great save from Bonetti from Dana. Dana, when the low one came across from Barnes, swung his right foot first time, and Bonetti was down very fast indeed to his left. Langley. And that's a rare Chelsea corner. Seen a great deal of them in attack in this second half. They've got the two big fellas up there, Droy and Wicks. It's Wicks they're looking for, and they found Droy and Osgood, and it is now 2-2. The tactical plan is you put three big fellas around the penalty area, and they bob it around and it goes in the net. The corner, first to Wicks, then to Droy, and Osgood helps it past Corrigan. 2-2. Well, it was a corner at the other end just a minute or so ago that produced Chelsea's goal. What now can City do? Couldn't make contact. Owen losing it to Langley, and Walker is chasing it, and Corrigan has come to meet him, and Walker has slipped it under him, and Chelsea are in front. Walker did that so well. City with everybody up for the corner, caught on the break. Langley booting it away, and Walker from the halfway line has a clear run, and run he does. Corrigan comes out to meet him. Corrigan timed it well, but Walker stuck it away.
So, a glimmer of hope for Chelsea perhaps, particularly with Wolves having lost yesterday, with Queen's Park Rangers having dropped a home point. And that's it. Next week it's a special FA Cup edition of the big match with 3 of the ties from the 4th round. Something to look forward to, of course, while today we look back on a wonderful game at Fulham where it was hard to believe how close you could get to scoring without actually doing it. And smiles at last for Chelsea, of course. Not a bad weekend overall for those 2 London neighbours.
Played in swiftly there to Rostron. Strong got up well there, but still Sunderland making their presence felt. And Bob Lee going through on a great save and a shot by Entwistle. Hurling that free kick in. Oh, a good save. And played back, or at least he tried to play it back. A chance for Mark Jellison. Knocked down against the post. Beck lifting it back again cleverly. And Davis having a shot saved again by Barry Civil. Peyton only half getting that away and knocked off the line.
Owen losing it to Langley, and Walker is chasing it, and Corrigan has come to meet him, and Walker has slipped it under him, and Chelsea are in front.